Hi everybody, welcome back to Conversation. We have the ladies edition, get me? Looking all summery and that. Alright, so we're gonna get straight to it. The question today for all of us and the ladies and you at home is, should you have expectations of yourself before you have expectations of others? So, should you have expectations of yourself before you have expectations of others? So, when I say this, I don't necessarily mean specifically just relationships, friendships. It could be in any aspect. So, it could be work colleagues, your mum, your dad, cousin, best friend, shopkeeper. You could have an expectation of him to always have your favorite chocolate in stock and you don't have it because obviously he is expecting you to pay and not walk out with these things. So, last time, should you have expectations of yourself before you have expectations of others? No, what are you thinking? I can see you, the coggles going in.
Tickety tap. Of course, you can't expect anything of anybody else if you don't have like goals for yourself, if even. Do you know what I mean? This word expectation is flung back and forth. So I'm gonna deep this word expectations unless one of you want to Google it. Yeah, because everybody always says, oh yeah, I expect this of my man or I expect this of my mom. But end of the day, we're all human, and I think we're kind of like, we need to drop that expectations. And I think that was one of the things that I said for coming into the new year, not having the expectations of people. Definitely. Do you, man?
Sometimes I think
yes, you would like things.
Naturally, no.
Yes, you would like things. You know, you'd like things to be done a certain way. Like, I'm a Virgo, so I'm just like, yeah, I definitely like order, organisation. That's what your face over there means.
Sorry, I couldn't hide it.
Like, I like organisation. I like things to, do you know what I'm trying to say? So, I don't know, just do you.
But then there's organisation and then there's obsession.
I'm not OCD because I really can just leave a bit of a
you
mess.
don't strike me as OCD.
There's nothing wrong with being OCD.
I am very organised.
Really?
Yeah.
No. As in, you can be organised. Organised is fine because I'm punctual as hell. You lot should all know that. But I don't have. But you don't seem like you're like OCD. Like, oh, this must be this way. You must. This must.
I am like that.
But you seem like you
are
want
OCD?
stuff together.
Not really, but like if this is in the cupboard, like everything does face the same way. Like,
That's OCD, babe.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not
She's
though.
obsessive.
I'm not.
In every aspect.
Not
or
in
in
every
certain.
aspect.
Yeah.
Are you a September Virgo or August
September.
Virgo? That's even worse.
See, the thing about me is,
I'm on the cusp. The next day is Libra.
See, the thing about this for me is I feel like sometimes naturally people have expectations, but then sometimes with me, for example, I'll do something because I want to do it, not because I'm doing it because I then expect you to do the same for me. But then what then happens, I find, is because I'm a giver or a fixer, as people have told me, and I find like when it gets to a certain point where I've done so much for someone, and then there's a time where the one time I need help, they don't. Something clicks in my head where I'm kind of almost like, but hold on, not that I expect you, but I kind of do because I've gone hard for you. So why is it the one time that I might need you, you're flaking?
Yeah.
That's when it sort of starts to make me feel. But then I kind of have this guilt. Like, why do I have this expectation of you because I've done for you?
You should not, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. We've grown up here expecting people to do that or be there and whatever. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own individual lives, and they're doing what they're doing. They're going through what they're going through. And for us to really have expectations of people, like, for even instance, I'm not even talking relationships in terms of partners and stuff, but even your mum. Yeah, let's use that as an example. Like, we expect our mum to maybe always be there for us. You know, you gave birth to me, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But they're a human being. And just like some of us, when we had our kids young, our parents were young when they had us.
Yeah, but the difference is we never asked to be here.
Cool. But some of our children, we chose. Maybe we didn't want some of our first child or whatever, but it was there. We was given that, and we have to do this now. There are some days we don't even want to wake up and take you on school run. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But you know, we're expected to do it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But when you get to a certain age, you have to realise that your mum's a human being.
I think it then depends on what context you're using the word is expectation.
And that's why I said that in the beginning.
So it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%.
What did you get from the Google?
Oh, so Google said expectation meaning. Number one, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case. Reality had not lived up to the expectation.
Right, I'm going to pause Mish there. So with that being said, the first part with what Mish said, sometimes the expectation you've placed on someone isn't solely down to you.
Oh.
Their actions or words have placed that expectation, hold on, Mish, automatically on them.
Yeah.
So now, for example, friendship or partner, if you're with someone who's always done something for you or treated you a certain way, or they've come across or presented themselves a certain way, or they've always given you words of affirmation or said, I will always be there for you, I will always help you, naturally, they have also helped to place that expectation on themselves. So it's not always a negative thing. So now, as I said before with my example, if there's a time where I'm now in need or in a crisis, I naturally am gonna have that expectation of you because you've always been there. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes I don't think having that expectation on someone is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So long as you're not pressuring them, and so long as it's not something where it's one-sided and you've just placed that expectation on them and they've not done anything to help it be there.
So my first thing that I asked was, what was the expectation, the meaning of the word expectation? And then this came up of what expectation, an example of expectation. So it says expectation is defined as believing that something is going to happen or believing that something should be a certain way. An example of expectation is a belief that you will be getting promoted. An example of expectation is a belief that you should behave as a proper lady or gentleman. It's so exactly what you said.
Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So with that, that's not necessarily a negative thing. Because in our office, let's say we were all working in the same office, we've all been working hard, going ham, because we know next year's promotion time, blah, blah, blah. Now when promotion time comes, we've all opened our envelopes and none of us have been promoted. We're all like, but hold on, we've all been working hard. Nai's been staying behind. You get me? You've been working weekends. Misha's been coming in early. I've been doing more paperwork.
Misha's been coming in late.
But then now we're expecting we should be rewarded for our good behaviour, and that's not a bad thing.
So then then we've been taught that in school as well.
Right.
Yeah, and then it becomes, but it's your belief.
Yeah.
So now when you change the word expectation, you turn it into your beliefs. I believe that someone should do this. I have belief that someone may do that.
I believe that if you're doing something, you must do it with a pure heart.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, of course. That's why I said I never do something with the expectation that I'm going to get it back.
Yeah.
I just
treat
do it
people
because
the way you want to be treated.
But it's nice when you do.
But you know what's mad? You see that statement? Treat people how you want to be treated? I don't even live by that rule. I just treat people because I don't expect them to treat me how I treat. I've learned that in life. Just because I'm good to you don't mean you're gonna. Pure example, barring Mish, I've asked like a friend before in the modelling industry, can she take some pictures of me? Because I always take pictures of her. The energy I put into taking her pictures, they come out bad. I got home, the three pictures that she took of me, and I took like 50 of her, they were shit. Now, I could say I had an expectation that she would take good pictures of me because I've always taken pictures, but I didn't. I just asked because I was like, can you take a picture of me? I didn't even check them. You know me, I never check them. I just get home and they're done. Like, because I don't have an expectation.
I give you more than 3, you get me?
Yeah, of course.
3's dead.
Yeah.
And you, Lucy.
Yes, Lucy Lou.
Quiet there.
Come on, girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just here.
You're thinking, innit?
That's all right. So I'll repeat the question again.
Deliberating.
Just so we can
No, but
refresh.
I do think you should have it's a bit of a tricky one. I feel like you should have expectations to a certain degree because then it sets certain standards for yourself, or even because say for instance in your in parenting, you will put into your child in it, so you'll have a certain expectation. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when it goes sideways, then it's just like, but so it's a bit tricky. I do believe that you should have expectations to a certain degree, but not.
Do we all agree that there's negative and positive expectations?
Yes, because I was just about to touch on that.
Yeah.
So sometimes that
100%.
expectation could become control.
And
I've expected you to do that and you haven't done that. And because you haven't done that, I'm now not in control. So sometimes your expectations, and that's a very good one there, like sometimes your expectations could become quite toxic, as it were, like, do you know what I mean? And it's not a good thing.
And I think for some people, parent-wise as well, sometimes you place these expectations on your children because it's a way of trying to encourage them to do good. But then there's a thin line
where you have failed.
But then sometimes there's a thin line, exactly, because then it also there's a thin line where you place these expectations on your children because you're trying to encourage them, because then it becomes, are you just trying to live through your children, or are you placing these expectations on your children for encouragement? But then it becomes toxic because now what you're doing is actually adding extra pressure on them. And children they don't perform well under pressure, because what you're doing is you're basically alienating them, you're isolating them, you're making them believe that if they don't reach your expectation, they're a failure, when really actually you're not. So that's why I said there's definitely a thin line between when you place expectations on your children to encourage them, and then sometimes you're placing these expectations on them because you're trying to live through them. Parents say it all the time. I say it, I'm guilty of saying it. I want my kids to be better than I am.
Yeah.
And that's not because I'm placing an unrealistic expectation. That's just because that's the way society and my parents and my culture and everything that I've been raised in has sort of taught me. And to be honest, it's not a bad thing, me wanting my daughters to be better than me. But if they don't, it's not the end of the world. They're going to find their own way. There's more than one way to get a job done. So again, do you feel like, should you place expectations on yourself before you place them on other people?
I feel like some things will come naturally to others. I feel like if you're just genuinely a person that likes to see people happy and you're a giver, then there is no expectation. But if you're one of those people that give to receive, then and there's a lot of people out there that give to receive. Like, well, I gave you that. Like the first thing they were, oh yeah, but I covered for you, brother. I never asked you to.
No, but sometimes giving to receive is not necessarily a bad thing. It's
Like
just
business.
not necessarily like business,
Even in shops.
but I'm saying even in like friendships, because at the end of the day, someone might be more of a giver in one aspect than a different. Someone might be a giver with affirmations, and someone might be a giver with gifts. But you should still find some form of. I would have some form of expectation,
would you say that all
but
your
it might
friends are
not
the
be
same?
immediately. No,
I don't think so.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, in my friendship group, not that I really have one because I'm kind of here there. Like I'm friends with. I've got different circles, but I'd say like in my main whatever, I would say I'm the friend that uplifts my other friends. When my friends are down, I'm the one that comes around. Oh no, you got this. We're gonna do this. We'll do that. I'll help you.
And
that's
do
me.
you have
and then
somebody in the batch that does that? And do you have expectations of your friends? That's what was my next thing.
So I will do that. And then when my friends are at a low point, I'm there. When my friends are at a high point, I'm there. But one thing I would say, and this is not even me being bitchy because I've said it to them as well, I've noticed that when you are the carrier, you're the uplifter, what happens when you have a low moment, no one's there for you.
Yeah.
Because they just think, you're the rock, you're the foundation, so therefore you don't need help. When really... even foundations, when you build a building, they have the foundation to a building is also soil. Do you understand? If we want to go below the soil, there's also foundation to that. So I found that in my friendship groups, there are like, I'm also the friend that will give people words of encouragement. I'm giving people positive affirmations. I'm the person saying, oh yeah, but no one else sort of does that.
Yeah.
Everyone else does other things, like they might buy gifts or they might whatever. But I'm the one that sort of is the all-rounder. Like, I'm the da-da-da-da-da. And it gets tiring. But I never have that expectation of them until I fall into that moment where I'm like, hold on, I need a friend now. And no one's around. And that's when you get the thoughts of, but hold on, have I not always been... I said that to my best friend the other day. I had to say to her, I'm going to keep it real. I'm always there for you lot. And the one time... I need you lot. I shouldn't even have to ask. I just expect you should be there because I never need you. Do you get what I'm saying? I never asked for nothing.
Yeah.
So, and then I felt guilty for saying that. Yeah. Because it's almost like, am I just saying it because I'm always doing this for you? And now I don't want you to think I'm doing these things just so that I can, pull in the IOU
So the bottom line is,
card.
it just depends on the circumstance. If we're going to be completely honest, I think you have a different level of expectation for different things. Different people. Horses for different horses. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think when it starts to become a thing of obsession and you need that person to give you what you gave them, and you're looking and you're searching for that, that's when you then get deflated. I think I had a big expectation. I don't really talk about it much, but I had a big expectation on my dad. Like I expected him, because he never had his dad and he never had those things, that I expected him to want to be better. I want to do better.
Unfortunately, it doesn't always work.
And it doesn't. And he's shit, bruv, like 100% that. But now that expectation has gone. Yeah. And now I have nothing. Like, you could come back tomorrow and be like, oh my God, I'm going to be the best. Nah, your time's gone. It's your free paper's bun, innit? Like, I'm hitting 40, bruv. Yeah. Like, I'm hitting 40. And I can never actually sit down and say, I don't even want to cry.
Get that.
Oi. That letting go of that expectation is actually a big thing, and you've done really well.
I can never say, like, within my life that I've had my dad. Yeah. Like, at any part.
Do you know what? I'm glad you let go of that expectation.
But you know what? Sometimes you have to be in it. And that's why we have to keep it 100, innit? Like, and it's funny because my husband was saying the other day, I think you need to talk to someone because I don't think really
people need
therapy. And do you know what? I don't talk about it because it's just like I feel like I've been a dickhead for so long of having that expectation of him. And then
can I just cut you?
You're not a dickhead. Not to have that.
No. But do you know what it was? Yeah, because I've said it before on the show. Like I've been that person that's been like, my dad. Like my dad never showed up for things. My dad had me waiting for things, but I was still there. Like, my dad. And then I'm just going completely off. I'm so sorry, but
it's still an expectation.
So then now, say 9 years ago, I got a message on Facebook. Of a young man saying that he's my brother. And it's like, so I've got two brothers. We share the same dad. We've got different moms. And he's the one that's not had anyone. So he always knew he had a sister, but he never knew he had a younger brother. And my youngest brother, I'd say, had more of my dad. He had, like, my dad was there. Like, he would see my dad every other weekend. He'd go and visit my dad wherever my dad was living. But I was always the one that, but he's going to change. So I would bring everyone together. And then when my new brother, you know, like he's just shiny. I just bought him from the shop.
I get it.
When he came around, and it took him like about 5, maybe 6 years to embrace me. Because my thing was, you're my brother. I love you. Here. Just take it. I had no expectations. I never had nothing on him to receive that love. And for a part of me, it was quite selfish because I was pushing all of that love on him because I was like, well, I understand how you feel. Because I've had him, but I've not had him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he'll come good. And he hasn't. So imagine being a man and having a son that you don't know. On top of the 2 kids that you have here, that you don't know. Like, my dad couldn't tell me what my favourite colour is. He couldn't tell me what I used to do when I was a kid. Like, he couldn't. But yeah, I still wanted that.
So, 2 things. So, firstly, I, obviously on behalf of everyone else, I think we could all say that we're proud of you and we respect the fact that you even shared that, because even though
it's been a long time coming, if I'm going to be honest.
And I feel like, secondly, personally to me, this is why on the show before, when we've spoken about the co-parenting and mum stopping dads from seeing you, what you've just done is why I closed the door. So for anyone that had judgment on me saying when I stopped my baby dad from seeing my daughter because he wasn't seeing her, that the whole inconsistency is what this.
But then that's what I said.
Do you see what I'm saying?
There's a level of inconsistency.
What I've tried. That's what I'm preventing, because people seem to think having an inconsistent father that doesn't do bits here and here, dipping out, is better than shutting the door on him completely. Actually, shutting the door on him completely is going to save my daughter a lot of emotional.
And it will.
Yeah.
But you know what I'll say? Like,
and watching you be like that over someone, even though you're
a
grown woman,
I'm hardback. I'm tearing back
to show
nearly 40.
How that inconsistency can affect and
but
have
then
an
if you
adverse
remember
effect
what I
on
said,
someone.
what I said in the previous shows is that it has an effect on you. Like, as much as I sit here and I'm like, that's one thing that I lack within my life. Like, it's like my husband, for instance, like, he's got such a close-knit family. And it's like that side of things, like my dad's side of the family, they're all very... They enable bullshit. And like, you got to call it for what it is. They just enable bullshit. Like, your brother is shit. Don't make excuses for that person. And that's what they do.
Were they involved though? Like,
with what?
So even though you didn't see your dad, did
my
you
mum
see
and dad
his
broke
family?
Up. My mum and dad broke up when I was 18 months old. And then, like... It's like there's 2 sides of a story, and I will never ever know the sides. I just know what my mum said. My mum's always said that my dad's a waste man.
But regardless of what the story was, he still had a position, and it was his duty as a father to be a father to you.
He did. But
whatever the reasons why he didn't do it, only he knows, and only it's his responsibility to answer that to you. We can all speculate. Your mum can even have her version, but he, out of his own mouth, his actions or lack of actions are what has led you to be and feel how you feel.
Yeah, and I just feel now it's got to a point where I now have to look at. I always said, the moment you make my children feel how you made me feel, that's when I have to draw the line. And I think for me, having my boys and my boys being like, granddad, 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 and then every time hitting a wall, now you're doing what you done to me to them. And they should never, ever, ever. Like, that's my priority, and I'm going to protect them at all costs.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I had to shut that down. And then I started to realise, like, I'm actually a dickhead. Because I'm sitting here and I can see it. You can see it for your own eyes. And it's the same with relationships. You can see that your man's doing you dirty, but you're still there. On a level.
Well, experience is the best teacher, no?
Well.
Yeah.
Now and I can see it, and I can see it, and I can see it. And then it got to a point where, you know what, I'm like, I'm done now. And I actually am. Like, it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't reach out, I don't message, I don't do nothing, I don't send you nothing, I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's because I let go of the expectation of that you needed to be what you said that you could never have. Do you see what I'm saying?
Lucy, I was going to ask you before.
Sorry, I went on for long. I'm so sorry.
Has there ever been a time where you feel like you've placed an expectation on yourself?
An expectation on myself?
So that's be it in a relationship, work, friendship, whatever. Even just in general. Do you feel like you have? Yeah.
No, I think if I did, I'd be further than I am now.
Okay. Do you think it's important for you to have expectations on yourself? I
definitely think that's 100% important to have expectations on yourself, because it's only you and God, innit? So at the end of the day, you can't expect no one, nothing, parents, friends, relationships, none of that. So, and I feel like people let go of expectations. Like, they feel like it's okay not to have expectations on themselves. And that's not right, because then that's when it comes to placing expectations on everybody else. Do you get what I mean? If you had expectations for yourself to do what
then you walk around entitled, feeling like you're entitled, exactly.
Like, do you get what I mean?
Yes.
I don't have no expectations.
Do you feel like, okay, so you basically answered it. Do you feel like there's ever a circumstance where you feel like it is important to have expectations on someone else?
No, I feel like anybody that's in my life right now, I do have an expectation of you. Whether it be whatever it is, I'm free flowing with it, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you, because why are you here? Yeah. If you get what I mean. Like, down to any little anybody,
no matter their role,
no matter what their role is, you're clearly here for a reason. We've crossed paths for a reason. So I do have a certain expectation, but not one that is visible, basically.
Okay.
Last thing I'm going to ask you, Lucia, do you feel like there's a time where you've placed an expectation on someone and they've let you down?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and give me more. You don't have to say too much.
I was going to say
think about it.
Yeah, I did.
Na's like, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready for my photo up. Let's go.
I'm just sitting
I know you're coming ready with the fire. Let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just listening.
Nye.
That one's a bit deep.
Nye, yeah?
I feel like you're giving me questions.
All right. So, same for you. Do you ever feel like there's been a time where you've placed an expectation on somebody else and they've let you down?
Probably. I think that's what you do growing up. As I said, that's something you learn as a child. And you grow up expecting this person to do this for you. You've had this friend and you expect them to do that for you. Do you know what I mean? That's how you've grown up. You know, we're no man is an island. We all need help in it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why I wanted you to define what that expectation was. Because like what Lucy just said, like, you have invisible expectations. Well, then that's the wrong word for me again. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, my friends, I shouldn't have to think they're there for me when I need them to be. It's automatic. It's fluid. It flows. You're in my life now for a reason. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I've chose you. You are a reflection of one of my personalities, which I like about myself. Like, you're here for a reason. When you're down, you speak to me. Communication. I know you're down. I will be there for you in the way that I feel that I can be there for you. And you as my friend know that I can only give you what I can give you. You cannot expect me to give you more than what I know how to give.
But then now, do you see the thing is, I'm going to throw a little curveball in there.
Sometimes
you see where you said, you know, it flows and etc. etc. in some ways, someone could say that's your expectation of friendship and that's your opinion. You could be in a friendship with someone who doesn't feel like that, and they just feel. Remember, it's give and take. The world is give and take.
Like that, they need to talk
right.
up.
But then listen, hold
understand?
on. Remember, some people,
you need to let me know you're not my brethren like that.
Remember,
So I don't have
everyone's
no
been grown. Remember, everyone's been grown different. We all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds.
No, but what if
some
you're
people,
coming-
hold on, ladies, let me land. Ladies, let me I've woken her up now. That's why I did that.
I literally just switched in
right now.
So let me finish. What I'm saying is,
can you just hold
sometimes friendships.
Hold on, wait.
What's going on?
Right, go on.
Yeah, sometimes, you could be in a friendship group or circle or have friends that don't have the same values of you, ladies. Remember, some of your friends are only around you.
They're not your friends, then.
Ladies, you gotta not let me land. Come on.
I told you are hovering there.
Sometimes, sometimes we'll talk. You could be in a friendship with someone and believe that this is you, it's flowing fluid, this is how you are, blah, blah, blah. And the other girl is just on the receiving end. She's just here to receive your energy, receive your goodness, receive your advice. But remember, she may not be fake because she never takes.
Seasonal
you
person.
never get into friendship with someone and have a contract and say, this is what I'm here to do. This is what. Remember that, ladies. Some girls will come around you and make you think that they're calm
and
when really they're just sucking your energy and all the good things that you have to give.
Most of my friends, I've known them like going on 20 years now. I don't pick up new gal every minute.
Yeah, no, I know that. Them same 20-year friends will take people's man.
Me and them are like that. But no, I don't pick up.
But I'm going to ask you the next part. So basically, my next part to that was, do you feel like you should place expectations on yourself?
On myself? Do you know what? I don't see it as an expectation. I see it as, if I have goals, I have goals. If I have dreams, aspirations, and things I want to do, cool. One of the things I was going to say is, when we have expectations of people, we end up punishing ourselves. When we have expectations of ourselves, we end up punishing ourselves. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So regardless of what we do with other people and how they treat us, we end up beating up ourselves about it. So having too much expectations on ourselves is too much. Like, if I want to lose weight, I'm like, I got to do this, and if I don't, then I feel shit. Or do you know what I mean? It makes you want to eat a bit of cake, or do you know what I'm trying to say? So like different things. If you're expecting yourself to, I want to buy a house at this time, you don't know what happened. Pandemic can happen. You know your funds are depleted. So you can have expectations and have expectations, but really, ultimately, if they're not fulfilled, how you feel it.
Two different expectations. Because having an expectation
all the
on
same
yourself
That's what I'm saying.
is you against you, you plus you, you and you.
And no one.
But why are you fighting? We shouldn't be fighting ourselves.
Yeah, but it don't have to be a negative.
No,
I could say to myself, okay, by the end of the week, I expect to have applied for 3 different jobs.
I think
now, by the end of the week, if I ain't done it, I'm not going to kill myself because I ain't done it, because shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Or there could be bigger expectations. By the end of this year, by the closing of 2021, anyone that I've wronged, I need to make it right.
Yeah.
That's a bigger, to some people, it's a bigger thing. Do you know
But
what
my
I'm saying?
thing is, if I wronged you, you fucking deserve it, bro.
Right.
Sometimes, because of the way you might be. Not for you. I'm saying with some people. With some people, though, Mish, because some people wrong people, and it's not because they deserve it. Some people are just really
I
wicked.
feel like those
bad men.
they ain't trying to come back by the end of the year and tell you nothing.
Yeah, bye.
That's just so them steer.
So I think definitely there are healthier expectations and there are more
100%.
toxic expectations, but nevertheless I don't know if I feel like it's a bad thing, because in a way sometimes, like I said with the children thing, placing expectations on yourself as well as others, sometimes it can encourage people, because sometimes if you tell your man, for example, you could say to him, babe, I kind of expect you to do better, man. You're working really hard in your job, I see you, but you could push yourself harder. I know you know you're smart. That's encouragement. That's not necessarily toxic. Whereas you could then say to your man, I kind of expected you to buy me a Bentley Jeep by now. What's going on? My ex bought me a Range by day 2.
That's an expectation.
That is an expectation, but it's negative.
But again, like you said before, there's positives and there's negatives. And I just feel like the person that I am, I take everyone from face value in it. So until you show me a side of you that I'm not used to, that's when I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just kick back.
Yourself,
Like I'll say, like I have friends and I've got different, and I've got but you know what it is?
Sometimes I'm not saying it's not what
my mum's cut-off game is strong.
That's me.
Like when I called her twice and she didn't answer, locked. That's no longer your raving buddy.
Yesterday is the first time I spoke to my dad in 10, 12 days. because he asked me if I was stupid. No one can ask me if I'm stupid. I will lock you, dad or not. And you lot know, I've said it on the show, I'm a daddy's girl. I did not talk to a man for almost 13 days. He called my phone yesterday. I was like, hello. He's like, oh, Missy. I'm like, He's like, is that how you speak? I was like, hi, daddy, what's going on? Oh, no, I was just wondering if you're all right. How's your day been? I was like, it's been a bit of a shit day, but I'm good. You know, I'm alive. But I was gassed because I was like, yes, my daddy's back. But I'm not going to lie. If you wrong me, I don't have time. Cut off. Bye-bye. So if my dad can get it, who is anybody else? Do you get me? So
and
I get it.
And that's literally how
Within
you got to
reason.
be. I feel like the type of person that I am, like, I am... in any situation, I'm easy to, like, I'm quick, should I say, to look at myself first, like in anything that I may have done. Because sometimes I say things and it could be taken in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't expect you to understand how I am. As well as you know me,
Exactly.
I don't expect you to understand how I am, innit? Like, so I will never ever want to bring nothing to you or to your door. You feel me? But
So-
if people need to get peppered, people get peppered.
So, on that note, everybody...
Just saying.
Expectations. Is it good to place expectations on yourself before other people? The answer is
Yes,
yes.
they're healthy. As long as they're
Healthy, and because there are two types of expectations.
Welcome to another episode of Convo Nation. To my right, I got Mr. ATM. To my left, I got Mr. Whoosh.
Whoosh, whoosh.
And here we go. We're sponsored by OG Rum Club. Certain Man Frass. What are you saying? You liking that?
Man said frassing.
Yeah? You liking it?
Listen, you can't mud me up on camera.
I asked you if you like the thing, fam. What's your
Man thought he can mud me up on camera, but I soon sober up.
Well, you like it?
Nice.
781.
Yeah, is it nice?
No, OG Rum has done their thing.
Flavors.
Their thing is strong. Give it that. So what's
No mixer.
So,
saying?
start. What's the question?
do we have should we have expectations of others? I think it's, do we have expectations of others, or should we have more expectation on ourselves than others? I think it's something like that. You get me?
Okay, so should we have more expectation on
I
ourselves
never
than
wrote
others?
it down, so
We should, but we don't.
why?
That's the truth. You know that because we live in a hypocritical world. That's the truth. So at the end of the day, like a lot of people will put certain standards, like i.e. certain man might not want their girl to cheat, but they'll go and cheat.
100%.
Do you get what I'm trying to say to you?
100%.
So we always look for other people's expectation to be meeting our, you know what I mean, our standards. And sometimes we're not meeting the same standards we're expecting from someone else. You know what I mean? We're not meeting the same one. Do you know what I mean? So we live in a hypocritical world, and that's the way things are. So I think we should, but we don't.
So that means that essentially we're in a place where we're not trying to heal. We're not trying to be the best person that we are, because we want the best out of somebody else. So essentially, we want our girls to be better than us instead of us being better than them.
That is true.
So we
In certain respects. In certain respects, that is. Do you know what I mean? So alright, and cool. What about you when it comes to your woman's job? Would you expect your job to be better, or you know what I'm saying, or what's your expectation when it comes to working?
We're in different fields, so you can't.
No. I just feel like, see, for me, I'm gonna stem straight into relationships. That's my thing, yeah. So boom, I expect my woman to be a certain way.
What type of way? What's that certain way?
And there's only one thing I ask for any woman, any woman I choose to settle with in the future, is respect. I don't care how mad you are, you better show respect regardless, right through, yeah? Because if you're trying to demasculate me, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Because the same way, you see, us as men, we know how to say certain things without really triggering people to where it gets to a point, because you know why? We know it's going to be a fight. See, certain gal,
they don't
they don't care.
No filter.
They want it. They no filter. They want us to be high sensitive to them, but they feel like they can just say anything and behave any way towards us.
Yeah, it's true.
And we
So-
will be okay with it.
Right, and we're supposed to be men at that point. The expectation from them to us, we need to be men. And I feel like, for me, the only expectation I have of a woman, just be respectful at all times. Because
it's true.
we are
I
physically
agree with you
stronger.
there.
So just allow yourself.
Yeah.
So
Because
only thing I
there's
say-
there's certain levels of disrespect. You can call me a dickhead, or whatever the case is, or call me whatever
Even
names
that's
you.
still disrespect.
No, for me it's
When
disrespect.
you let
But
them
for
fly,
me
you
That's
let them
abuse.
fly.
No.
That's
I hear
abuse.
that. I hear that. But if you're arguing, people, this is what happens. You throw maybe a light insult. You can't expect any and everyone to get mad and not throw insult at you. you get what I'm trying to say? So some things you can it's water for ducks back, it's nothing. But when she might tell you about raw, imagine your girl's there now and she's not telling you calling your dickhead, but she's telling you about your baby mother. Or she's telling you about your pitney. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
No respect.
That's a different level of disrespect. Because imagine you're with your gal and your gal's telling you about your baby mother. But you know what I'm trying to say?
I ain't reached that
right,
level yet.
and this is what I'm saying to you. Or she's saying something about your you. Or the way you...
No gal can't tell me about
There
my
you go.
You're
But this is
mad.
what I'm trying to say to you. So there's certain levels of disrespect. Like I said, you can have a light insult. It ain't nothing. You can live. You can move on. Do you know what I
Imagine a
mean?
girl telling
So,
you about
there
it.
you
Why don't
go.
you just slap her on her wig like,
Right, this
baby
is it.
self?
This is it. So...
I think this is.
But this is what they do. They will do that, and then man will end up doing that. And they
Yeah.
will end up going to jail.
It's a draw out.
It's a draw out.
I feel like obviously expectations, we should have better expectations for ourselves. Essentially, we need to be better persons so we can, and you know what? It's kind of condescending, but we can look down on people. If we're better as a person, we'll be able to say, hold on, my bills them are paid, my rent's paid, I don't swear, I don't speak to you in any kind of manner. I'm on point when it comes to all fathers here. I'm on point when it comes to my kid. Do you know what? I can say certain things. You understand? So really, that way, the expectation that they have of us, they can't have that expectation because we're above them. You see people that, you can only have an expectation of somebody that you think could be better than you. You can't have an expectation of somebody that you believe is beneath you. Facts.
You can't.
Because if you think they're a piece of shit at the beginning, how can you have expectation of them? How can you think they're going to be better than you? We only have expectations of those that we think are better than us. So if we think that, if you have a woman or you have someone, don't get me wrong, that's a lie.
no, hold on,
I'm gonna
hold
pause
on.
that.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
say-
hold that.
I'm gonna say-
Because obviously I have expectations of my child. But also, the reason I have expectations of my child is because I believe he can be better than
That's what I was gonna say.
see that?
Don't,
So
don't
it's
say,
always
don't
a
say
better
that. You
thing.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
different. He's a
It's,
child. That's
no,
different.
but
It's
but
not
no,
the
but it's the
for
same.
adults.
But it's the same for women
It
as
ain't
well.
not for adults and
Some women, you know, when you're good, you're good. You could be best friends with her, and then when it's bad, it's terrible. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's the flip side, isn't it? So we know you can be better, innit? We know you can be the girl that I need you to be, but when you lose your head, you're the mad bitch.
Yeah, no,
and,
but that's-
and what I'm trying to say
No.
to you, overrides
Alright.
everything else. So
shout-
you know what I'm saying? So
Shout out someone that I obviously, you get me? I used to, yeah. But what I'm saying is, she said to me, you should fall in love or you should be with somebody that on who they are today, not somebody that, not based off of their potential or who they could be. Let's be with somebody that who they are today. So don't be off of just, oh yeah, you believe she can be this person and that person. You know why? You always get stuck. It's like getting with a woman that's fat and expecting her to be slim.
Yeah.
She's gonna turn around and say, hold on, I was fat when you met me. You can't come with that argument there. The argument's void.
It's dead.
So what I'm saying is you gotta be in love with the person that they are. So regardless if they're fat, slim, skinny, curvaceous or whatever they are, you know what I mean, Whoosh? Yeah, it's that. You get what I'm saying? So the expectation, you only can have an expectation of people that you think are better,
Yeah, can do
or
better. Yeah, that's
or they are your child,
Or you want them to do better.
or they want them to do better, and that's the expectation that really you shouldn't really kind of go down because they ain't that currently. You know what I'm saying? That's like a woman getting with you and going, I know he can be a really good man, but really you're just fucking out every weekend. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? She's asking for something that ain't gonna happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just feel like with the expectation thing, we need to learn to better ourselves, to be above, to be able to say, do you know what? You're beneath me. And that sounds horrible, but there's levels in life, innit?
There is levels.
There's levels in life. There's ratings in life.
There's always been levels.
That's it. We know there's certain things we'd never touch. Because you're so beneath me, it's long. And you know what? If you do touch it, you wake up and you're upset with
We
yourself.
call it the undesirables.
Right.
The undesirables.
Undesirables.
You know like that? You wake up and you're upset. You're like, hold on, why did I give her my back?
Wow.
Yeah, and the pussy weren't even all that, but you know what? You know once you're committed. You know you've been chatting to her for a couple months and you're committed, you're like, fuck it, I might as well now. That's it, innit? You might as well do your thing.
Might be drinking the OG rum or something.
Right, you might just be doing
start moving.
781, you get me? But what I'm saying is definitely we as men, we need to, I don't know what the girl said, but us as men, we need to have certain levels for ourselves. And the expectation is to run along that. So if we believe that we shouldn't cheat, ideally,
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? The woman should. Or if we expect a woman not to cheat, vice
expect
versa,
someone not to lie.
We shouldn't do
You
that.
know what I'm saying? But who practices what they preach on a, you know what I'm saying? There's only
Yeah, because it only takes for someone to get upset or in their
it.
feelings, and then everything goes down the drain.
So what? Have you ever had expectations of a woman?
Who?
You, Ush.
Yeah.
And what was the main thing that you had expectations for?
Just her whole mood.
Mood.
Yeah.
Like what? Like
she didn't need to be in a mood that she's in all the time. She didn't need to be in that mood.
what was that mood?
I
Because we're
expected
trying to get a better picture.
you were the angry bitch.
Yeah,
Moaning
she's
bitch.
angry. She didn't have to get out of her mood, bro.
Yeah, that's wrong.
But you want to get out of your mood when you want to get out of your mood. But then be back in the mood when you understand what I'm saying.
Listen, I ain't trying to get with no masculine woman, no angry woman, and no
one
woman
never
with
said
attitude.
masculine, cuz.
I'm not on it.
But you know what's fucked up is that expectation always follows, because like you would have an ex and still think, yeah, you got a certain level of expectation of her.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I went
to
through
you?
that. I went through
Like
that.
you're not with her no more, and you still.
Like, you see it with some different.
You know what I'm saying? You
I thought
still
was
got
better
that-
than
Alright,
I thought
you
you
get-
was better than that. Look at how you downgrade. Like,
Right.
You know that? Yeah, I hear that.
So it's always down to the relationship you have with that person and what you expect from them, and do you know what I mean? So when you see, like I said, even when you leave someone, expectation still follows, even though it shouldn't.
No man, you
But it
take
does.
them with you, cuz.
You know, no one's
Yeah,
there.
you see what it is? It's I guess expectations run a close border to morals, and for me, the only thing I ask for is loyalty. I don't ask for nothing else. See, for me, if you're loyal to me, see if I got an ex and she gets with a new man, don't be chatting man's relationship fully
louder.
to your new man. You understand? Because all you're doing is giving him an insight on how to pattern you. Do you understand?
You
And
know
pattern
like
my
that?
you or try and pattern around me.
So you set her up you set her up for him, practically, because he's gonna know everything that went wrong with you two. So
Right.
he's gonna
So
just
he
walk
knows how
around
to
it.
do this
You
thing.
understand?
He knows how to walk around the house. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you're pissed. So for me, I just feel like that's the only thing I ask for. I don't ask for many other things.
I mean,
that's my only expectation.
one thing,
Is loyalty.
The loyalty is, it will come under that, because there's no that. For me, it's nothing worse than a woman that knows your business, and then when something happens, she uses your business against you.
Or
something
speak
you-
to me.
Snitching.
Do you get what I'm
That's
saying?
snitching.
You see, baby?
That's snitching.
But whoosh, I don't even mind if a girl's like that in the sense of she's like that towards me, because it's just me and her. You can't chat my business elsewhere. You're done out here.
Yeah, keep that.
Yeah?
In, keep that.
You're
in,
done out
keep that
here.
in house.
Yeah?
When you start blabbering to next people, that means you're just. To me, you're just looking for attention. You don't need to be talking your business out the road. Keep your stuff in closed doors.
You know
That's
that?
right.
You know them women
That's
that.
right.
Yeah. Sort it out or don't sort it out, but keep your shit in closed doors, innit? The world don't need to know your mix.
Do we have expectations of our parents though?
Not for me, I
Yeah,
never.
we do.
I don't know.
We do.
And what type of expectation?
When I was younger,
Depends.
I did, but now I'm
I still have
older.
expectations
Nah, I'm
of
older.
my parents. I
What,
have expectations.
apart from the regular motherly shit, like parent shit, like I don't.
Yeah, that's expectations.
Yeah, but
we're
that's
grown people, so we live our own lives. For me,
No, but certain mums gone beyond certain things that certain mums ain't gonna do for their youth. My mum's gone beyond, you understand? So yeah, if anything happened, I would expect my mum to do that, but she might not.
yeah, but it's still expectations. How would you feel if she turned around and said,
I couldn't be
yeah,
vexed.
like for instance, let's say you became homeless and you needed to go home with your mum, go home to your mum's, and your mum's saying, "Sorry,
Fuck
mate, you're a big man."
Rise up.
Do you know
Can't
what?
even sleep on the
I
couch.
would expect her to let me in to get myself on my feet, but if she didn't, I'm a big man. I have to go and do it. Innit?
So what, you rather sleep on the floor outside?
I would have to go. I'll find somewhere, bro. You sleep on the floor outside. Man can't go home.
No, everyone's homeless at some point. If you're self-preserving, you're homeless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
and
that's
I feel that.
that's cool.
I feel like most men are being
homeless and
You got
self-preserving
home,
is two
you
different
got
things.
house
You know?
over your head,
There's
cuz.
homeless and there's
You
self-preserving. There's two different
That
things.
is
I see that as the
Because let
same.
me tell you
I see
something.
that as the same.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Because the man that's homeless ain't got a sofa. And the
Can't-
man will tear you up
Right.
for that sofa. You stay there.
Right.
We look at heating. And look at I can watch a little TV or
You can
what.
brush
What you
your teeth
talking
in the
about?
morning,
Fuck
wake
off.
up in the night and go to the fridge.
You can bathe your skin.
Like, yes,
what you talking-
that's sofa
Right.
surfing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Homeless now. That's you on the road. On the road.
For going bathing
In
McDonald's.
Mickey's going in
Yeah, for
gold.
going bathing McDonald's or KFC or whatever.
Bandos.
Yeah?
Like,
Using baby wipes as a flannel and all them fuckery.
Yeah, that's
That's
Man ain't
homeless.
going,
man.
I've got too much family and
rainwater
loved
to clean,
ones.
clean yourself.
There you go, a little bucket, you know, I don't want to catch your teeth.
Too much loved
Real
ones
talk.
and family for me to not have somewhere to rest my head and be safe.
Yeah, that's
Nah.
the truth.
So what we saying for the conclusion? Because obviously we'll wrap it up quick. You get me?
Yeah.
Because
So,
us as men, we don't
I
elongate
would say
things.
expect
We know
what
the
you
thing.
want from people. You expect from yourself what you want from
Yeah, we should be able to set an example of
set
what
the
we
level.
want.
Yeah, you set the level of what you want, innit?
that's
So,
what-
But
People
it's
don't
not
do
always expected. You can't always expect it from somebody else because they might not do that for you.
yeah.
That's the truth, innit? Like, and don't be upset about it because it's the way that the game is. It might be their circumstance or the situation at that point in time that they can't do for you the way that you would do for
Or it
them.
might be something simple.
Like for instance, I might have a fight for a man over an ex-man. Yeah, like my brethren's got beef with somebody, and he ain't with him. He's not like they ain't seen each other, but I've seen that man, and I might punch out my man's teeth. But the truth is, he might not do that for me.
For you, yeah.
But it doesn't mean that he's less of a friend.
Yeah,
because he might do something else for me.
Yeah,
he
your
might say,
yeah,
you know what?
everyone's got their
You know what?
limitations.
You
Yeah, it's true.
you need some bread. You know what? Here's £1,000. Get yourself
Bro,
back
but
on
you
your feet.
stupid. If man sees me getting punched up and you're standing there, you're not my friend, bro. I don't
No,
care
no,
about
no.
nothing. What are you talking about?
You were mad.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
That's what I thought
No,
you
he said if a man's got say that you got beef, yeah,
And I see the brother.
with unks, yeah, and he sees unks and he pushes and he
And
tries
I punch up Unks or Unks, we have a fight.
yeah,
And then the next time I've got a beef with a man.
and you might not.
And he might be
No,
wicked
no,
with his
no,
skin.
no, no,
and you
no,
don't do
yeah.
nothing.
No.
I can't be upset with you.
Yeah,
You might turn around and say, do you know what? Like, alright,
I'm a
cool.
family man. I
No,
don't really do. I'm a family man. I don't really get down like that. You get yeah, I even got a criminal record. I don't really dabble in
Yeah,
them.
but,
So,
if
you know,
if I was broke, you might say, do you know what? Here's £1,000. Get yourself
but
back
it's
on your
different
feet.
strokes for different folks.
yeah.
You got to understand your friend circle.
Everyone's got
That's the
different.
truth.
Everyone's got different qualities, and we
Yeah,
need to respect
yeah,
everyone's
that's
different
true.
qualities. Because you might be a man that'll give me 1,000, and you might be a man that'll bang out for me, and they might have a next man that he killed for me differently. Everyone's got different.
No, it's true.
It's because everyone's individuals. You know, like that. But you know what? We wrapped it up quick. Shout out OG Rum. Hey, you lot. I got this mixed with,
OG_rum club.
I got this mixed with
Instagram.
some beetroot joints.
Yeah. You tried to go vegan with it as well. You know? That's what I said.
got it in the
Not
lemon.
everything vegan, you
I got it in the
know.
lemon thing.
What?
It's tasting mother.
My thing
Listen,
straight.
did its thing still.
No
So
cap.
you know what? Shout out to Anyway, we're out of here.